When the transition was first announced, of course, everybody focused on the buildings and not necessarily on what was going on outside. And it wasn't until after, when the dust kind of settled, people started to look and go, this junior high has no playground. At first, they thought they could take the playground from the Rudolph Hennig School and move it. And it took a little bit of time and some inspections to realize that that wasn't possible. And that brought us already to almost spring of last year. So we lost some time and some ground by not knowing right away in August that this was something that had to happen. And those core group of parents sprung into gear very quickly, researching different types of playgrounds. And when they did, that's when they realized how much money a new playground is worth. And that's when they then started researching fundraising.
I sort of stood back and I hoped someone else would step up. That didn't sort of happen, so I thought, I'll do it. And then it was at Splash Night or something funny, I went up to Paula and said, hey, do you want to help? And at that point, we sort of heard from Elk Island and the city that nobody really supported playgrounds. It was completely Parent Advisory Council driven. And so very overwhelming to think that, you know, it's $150,000 minimum that you're spending on a playground, and to imagine raising that kind of money in such a short term was overwhelming, but we just did it. So we started, and you started simple. We started with what we could do.
So the building of the playground for me started basically with a tap on the shoulder. I was out working at another fundraiser raising money for the Stollery, and I got a tap on the shoulder from Kim Hetherington, and she must have known we'd work well together, because she said, I need your help on something. And of course I obliged, agreed. Didn't know what I was getting myself into at all, but it's been a ride. It's been great. Started with getting together, brainstorming. We need to build a playground, we need to raise money, how are we going to do that? And it started a year ago May for me selling freezies. That was one of our first fundraisers, was selling freezies. Did what I could.
So I went to a PAC meeting, Parent Advisory Council meeting, in February of this year, not even last year, February 2013, to find out what was going on. At that time, Elk Island was also going to be at that meeting to explain what the process was for moving the school, what was going on, why there's no playground, what was going to be done about it. So I was interested in finding out what was going to go on. Elk Island said they had to move the school, gave their explanation, and it came down to the Parents Advisory Council had to raise money for the playground, and that the expected cost was $160,000. It's a bit of a mind opener. Very surprising to me how much playgrounds cost, but I guess that's the cost of making something that's safe and enjoyable for kids these days. So after the meeting, I said, is there anything I can do to help?
One of the first things we did on the corn roast last year, which was Meet the Teacher, came up with an idea to do a duck poop. So we made a grid on a piece of plastic board, squares, and everybody bid on the squares. We let the duck out, and when the duck pooped, that person won. So that was kind of neat. That was the first thing that I had to get a license for, was a duck poop, and it was kind of odd explaining it, but anyways. From there we did a Halloween dance, which was a huge success. We raised over $3,000, and that was neat because we did a silent auction, and all the classrooms in the school contributed things for the baskets for the silent auction. So I was in charge of making the baskets look fabulous. That was a bit of work, but it all came together and we raised a huge amount of money. So once again, the school community came together, and that went really well.
Amazing things happened because we kept hearing no from everybody. Like when you look at like government, no, that's not our responsibility, or whatever tactful answer they had. And I get it. You only have so many government dollars. And so we went out into the community, and I was overwhelmed because I was ready to give up. I did not think it was going to happen.
Another parent sort of noticed a need for some help, and she had said, you know, what can I do to help? Her name's Elaine. And I said, can you make cupcakes? Because I need cupcakes. And she said, yes, I can make cupcakes. But I had a feeling she was a little more skilled than that. So Elaine came on board, and she had skills that maybe Kim and I didn't have, or the energy to do other things that we hadn't done. So it was kind of a great combination.
So that's kind of been my role on the playground, is a lot of organizing. So organizing the grant application, organizing the donation drive with industry and the public, going to city council, trying to get their support, different organizations, different groups, trying to fundraise for the playground.
means that, you know, a team of people came together with the support of the principal, Nancy, and a community, and we were able to rally together to make this sort of dream. It was kind of a dream for us. Like, can we do this? Can we have this playground ready for the kids in September? And there was days that it felt like it wasn't going to happen. So to see it come full circle and know that the hard work, you know, of the playground team and the community, that's what made this all happen. It's pretty special.
it's raising that village. I really believe it. You know, it's the village, and this is a small piece, and I feel that we're really part of the village now. People are more aware that there's a French immersion school, but that there's kids here and we're like everybody else. So it's neat. It's just being part of that village, and we are an immense village here. Amazing. We are so fortunate for it.
The part that makes me most proud about this playground is that it is a community effort. It is not the work of one school, one parent group, or one small number of people rallying together. It's a city who came together as a village to make this happen for our children and for the children that come in years to come. And like I said, the pub night was an example where 350 people came together in one night, various generations, various walks of life in Fort Saskatchewan, to raise that money. And we've seen community groups, individuals, families, everyone rally around us, the radio stations, the newspapers, the government people that have come and helped. And this is what makes me proud to be a Fort girl, is that this is where my village is, and it takes a village to raise a playground.